Hello and welcome. My name is Tom Hudash from TNT Custom Paint, and today I want to go over the absolute basics for scrolling. So let's get started. First things first, let's go over supplies that you're going to need. You could have a piece of painted metal, you could use some paper, you could use some scroll practice sheets. I came up with these, reusable, just wipe it off and keep practice on them. Or you could use a piece of glass. You can go to the dollar store, get a cheap picture frame, and just practice on that. Now each piece has its own I guess you can call it slipperiness, if that's a word. So the paint soaks up a lot on the paper. This is as close to a painted surface as you can get with actually not having a painted surface. And then glass would be the slipperiest. Next, you're going to need a scroll brush. This is just one of my own. It's a TNT talc brush. You're going to need some paint. This is Ronin. I love this stuff. I actually pour this into squeeze bottles that I have on Amazon. And then some odorless mineral spirits and just a magazine, an old magazine. Now this brush has MAC brush oil on it. It's an oil preservative for the hairs. I put it on every single one of my brushes that I use after I'm done using them. Anything from natural hair to synthetic hair, I preserve all of it. So gently taking off the oil with a cheap paper towel. Then I'm going to dunk it in mineral spirits. I have a clean and a dirty mineral spirits all the time. I like having two, just so if I'm changing colors, I could change it out in this one, and always have a clean mineral spirits when I am dipping it into my paint. I don't want to have the thinner dirtying up any of my colors. Okay, so we'll just use this for the demo. Again, this is Ronin. This is great stuff. You can find this on my, there we go, on my website, tntcustompaint.com. So this is right out of the bottle. As you can see, it's right out of the bottle. If I palette this into my brush, it's going to be really thick, right? So what I want to do, as I'm paleting, I'm going to dip the tip, just the tip, into my mixture of mineral spirits, right? I'm going to palette that into the hairs, go again, palette that into the hairs, and I'm watching this pile that I'm paleting through. I'm waiting for it to get thinner, right? So I'm wiggling the hairs through. I've got to spread the hairs out as I'm paleting to open up the hairs so the consistency of the paint is through every single hair. You don't want the outside of the hairs to be thin and the middle to be thick, because then you'll have issues with the brush turning on itself. So the way these hairs are and the way I'm dragging this brush in one direction like this, I'm not going back and forth. I'm going in one direction like this because I'm combing all the hairs down as straight as I can, because these hairs are made to turn on themselves. So if these hairs are tangled or intertwined in any way, that brush isn't going to want to make those nice scrolls. So I'm going back and forth in the same direction. I'm getting this paint nice and thin. And here comes my puppy. And I'm looking for bubbles in my paint mixture right here. Sorry, I keep hitting the camera with my hat. Alright, so you can see as I'm pulling it through, I'm getting bubbles in this paint. That's what I'm looking for, just a couple bubbles in that paint. So as I'm lifting that brush up, I'm getting bubbles. That means that viscosity is thin, and this paint can run off the hair kind of like a fountain pen. Alright, so let's just do a little practice dagger here. I'm going to push down, pull up and off. That's looking pretty good. If the paint's too thick, these little dagger ends will split off into a couple different dagger ends. So your paint thickness or viscosity, you can kind of tell how the paint runs off the edges. If it's too thin, all these lines will get wider as they dry and wilder. It's almost like you can't even control the brush if it's too wet. So I'm going to pull a little bit of fresh paint from here into my thinner mixture, and this thick mixture is always feeding my thinner mixture. I don't want to keep thinning out the already thinned stuff. Alright, so let's do this on this piece of paper first, and then we'll move over to this. So the absolute biggest mistake I see people do with scrolling is they don't ride the tip. They leave more of the belly on the panel and they don't get good turns. So what I mean by that is, after you get your brush established on the panel, you want to lift the brush off till you're just have the tip on that panel. So if I'm going to start right here, I'm going to lay the brush down. I'm going to establish the brush on the panel, then I'm going to lift up. And the brush is bending. Yes, I have a little bit of pressure down on it, but only the tip is on that panel. Okay? Now I have you on this extreme angle just so you can really see how I am on that tip. So I'm starting off with the belly. I'm lifting up, riding the tip, and I'm letting just that tip with that thin paint draw off that brush. Push down and up to finish with this little dagger. And there you go. Now if I were to have more belly on the brush, it does not give you a good line at all. But the nice thing about these brushes is they can be liners. So if I wanted to, say, outline a flame, but again, you got to ride that tip. You can outline flames with this brush. But you cannot be heavy bellied on the brush. And you see how I'm already running out of paint with this paper? Let's move over to the practice sheet and try on that. Now paper is nice to practice on. It's disposable, lightweight. You can throw it out when you're done. Take a picture of it, throw it up on a portfolio if you want. It's also really good for lettering, practicing lettering, because again, you can do a couple letters on it and then throw it out when you're done. Alright, so again, I got everything paletted up real nice, and this will be a little bit more slippery than the paper, so you will be able to get more line out of your paint because it doesn't soak through like the paper does. Here we go. Let's wipe this off and do another one. Alright, and get a little bit more paint. You really always want to load when you're doing a bigger, longer design. You always want to load it up. You don't want to just have the remnants of the last line on there, unless you're doing daggers that are progressively getting smaller. Then you can do that. But when you're pulling a longer line, you really want to make sure that you're getting a nice fresh load. I don't like that, but that's okay. The line quality is good. Line quality makes the design, or makes the overall piece, better than a good design with bad line quality. So remember that. We'll go this way. Go up here. Like that. We'll fancy this thing up a little bit. And I'm sorry if my hand's getting in the way, but I really want to have that nice angle for you so you can see how I'm pulling down and pulling up and how I'm starting. So when I start at an angle. Then I lift that brush up to a 90. Keep the brush at a 90, almost like a CNC machine. Because if you're at any angle this way or this way, it's going to compromise the roll of those hairs. At 90 degrees, that brush can roll on itself and keep going all the way around. Anytime you're at an angle with your brush is when that brush hair is going to stop rolling. Another thing too is, sometimes I hold the brush like a pencil. Sometimes I hold the brush, you know, like a the 3-finger claw. It always just kind of depends on the way I'm feeling. But that brush always starts 90 degrees when I'm starting to make my scrolls. Let's wipe it off and do it again. One more thing too is if you're using these practice sheets, don't leave the paint on too long to dry. You can still get it off, but as you can see, if you do it when it's wet, it comes right off and you're ready to keep going. So I'm repaleting my brush here. And one thing a lot of people don't watch when they're watching YouTube stuff especially is people's hands. You really have to concentrate on what the person is doing with their hands. You can watch the results later, but what are they doing with their hands, right? So watch my hand, watch how I'm doing it. Don't watch the line, watch the hand. I'm gonna start down, a little bit of a 45, I'm gonna bring it up to a 90. Push down, back up. And I do like the 2-finger or the 2-fist technique, you know, hand over hand like this, because I could use my wrist as a depth gauge going down and up, and then my left hand is kind of my guide for stability with my depth. So on these ones here, I pushed down, so I used my right wrist hinge to push down and then back up as this is turning. So I'm going down and up with this wrist while I'm moving with my left hand. Like, think of it as one unit with 2 hinges. Nope, not 2 hinges. One's a hinge fixed. The other's the motor. Okay, so let's get into daggers here real quick. So a dagger, I'm going to start at a 45, then I'm going to pick my brush up to a 90, and I'm going to flick the whole thing off on another 90. So I'm going to start at a 45 here, bring it up to 90, pull, and flick off at another 45. So 45, 90, 45. 45, 90, 45. I'm not doing anything with my wrist. I'm not twisting the brush. I'm not doing anything. This stays right here, fixed. Then all I'm doing is hinging the wrist. 45, 90, 45. Just a flick of the wrist. All right, then the other way, whoop, just a flick. And I know my hand is in the way, but I just want you to watch the way my wrist hinges. 45, 90, 45. You get these really nice lines here. Let me show you. Now what would happen if I scroll with this real thick stuff? Let's do a little POV here. Okay, so I got the rest, just this big glob, okay? I don't see really any bubbles, not much is going on. Oh, POV. See how the paint's already getting dry on the brush? Line quality's not good. See how it starts splitting when this one didn't? That's when you know also that your paint is too thick. Now let's get it too thin. Let's get it real thin. Thin to the point where it's just gonna flick paint all over the palette. There we go. All right, let's try that. So you can't really get too thin of a line. It worked, but the lines are thicker. This isn't going to last as long if you're doing it on a car or something like that. This will last longer than this on a car because this has more thinner and it will be a little bit more unstable. And also you can see that it's already starting to kind of puddle in the middle and bleed out on the ends. I'm not sure if you can see that in the camera, but it is already starting to kind of compromise itself as far as its stability and the lack of paint there. Okay, so let's do one final cleanup here. I'm gonna get rid of this. You could use mineral spirits on this. Take that all off. There we go, and that's clean. Then we take paper towel and gently pull through the hairs. We're going to use our junk reducer first. Get the mess out. There we go, pull it through straight. Because remember, even when we're storing it and everything, we want to get it straight. We don't want these hairs to tangle up at all. Pull it straight through. Now that's nice and clean. I'm going to take my brush oil, dip that in fully in there, all the way to the ferrule. Then I'm going to squiggle and pull, because if I wiggle the brush a little bit as I drag, it'll separate the hairs, but it'll also straighten the hairs. And that is a preserved brush, nice and clean, ready for the next time we use it. Next time you use it, just make sure that you rinse it out with mineral spirits again to get all the oil off of those hairs. And that's it. So thanks for watching. I hope it really helped out. If you have any questions, throw it down in the comment section. You could also find me on Instagram, Tom Hudach, H-U-D-A-C-H. You can find me over on TikTok also, same thing, Tom Hudach. Throw me questions anywhere, down here in the comment section, over there on Instagram, over there on TikTok. You can also find all these supplies on my website, one more time, tntcustompaint.com. And this is the place where I hope you can kind of settle and learn, and we can get you painting faster. That's the goal of this whole thing. So keep the brushes wet, have a good day, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.